Hi everyone, welcome back to online classes. So we are discussing 10th class physical science chapter structure of atom. So this is the last part of the structure of atom. So in this class we will discuss about electronic configuration and the Pauli's exclusion principle, and the third one Abbo principle, and fourth one Hund's rule. So let us discuss one by one. First one, electronic configuration. Already in the previous class also we have discussed about the electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? The distribution of electrons in an atom. The distribution of electrons in an atom, so in its shells, subshells and orbitals. Now to understand the electronic configuration in detail, let us consider an atom hydrogen, because hydrogen have only one electron in its atom. So let us consider hydrogen atom. So while writing electronic configuration, so we will represent the electronic configuration. We represent electronic configuration in shorthand notation. So what is shorthand notation? What is the values present in shorthand notation? Let us see. So in this shorthand notation, the first one will be the energy level, principal energy level. So that means the principal energy level, N value, and sub level, sub energy level, L value, and number of electrons. So number of electrons represents with the letter X. So this is a number of electrons. The number of electrons we can write as the superscript of the L. So we write X as the superscript for L. So now let us write the shorthand notation like this. N represents the main energy level, main shell energy level, N value, and L represents subshell level, subshell energy level, L value, and number of electrons just we write as the superscript of the L. Superscript, that means, so just above the L we will write as a superscript. So here what is N? So N is the principal quantum number. So N represents principal quantum number. And what is L represents? L is angular momentum quantum number. L represents angular momentum quantum number. And what is X? X represents a number of electrons. So here in hydrogen atom, so what is the atomic number? So here N represents principal quantum number, that represents atomic number. So what is the atomic number of hydrogen? Hydrogen atomic number represents Z is equal to 1. So hydrogen atomic number is 1. And how many electrons present in its atom? So only one electron. So number of electrons, that means X is equal to 1. Then how can you write the electronic configuration of hydrogen? So first one, N value we have to write, that means 1. So only one electron, that means the first electron occupies the first shell. So in that first shell only one subshell is there, that is S. So 1s, how many electrons are there? That electrons we can write as a superscript. So 1s1. 1s1 is the electronic configuration of hydrogen atom. So we can also write this hydrogen atom configuration by representing this spin quantum number. So first of all, we have to write all the quantum numbers for this 1s1, that means electronic configuration of hydrogen. What are the quantum numbers? So L is the first principal quantum number. What is the n value? N is equal to 1. And what is the angular momentum quantum number? L is equal to S. S means what is the number? 0. Next quantum number, magnetic quantum number. So magnetic quantum number represents ML, that is equal to, if L is equal to 0, what are the magnetic quantum numbers? So minus L to plus L, including 0. So here only 0 is there, so ML value also 0. So if you represent the electronic configuration of hydrogen by showing this spin, then we can write as like this. So here, what is the spin quantum number? Either spin quantum number represents ms is equal to plus of, that means plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. Plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2, because it has only one electron. So either clockwise spin or anti-clockwise spin we can write. So this is very easy because only one electron present in its atom. Then what about more than one electron? So what about the atoms? If electrons present more than one, how can we write? And that means how can we distribute the electrons in subshells and orbitals, etc. So let us discuss that one. We have discussed about the electronic configuration of the atom. Electrons in an atom, that means hydrogen atom, only one electron. But if you go forward in the periodic table, the number, atomic number will increases. That means number of electrons increase in the coming atoms. So we have to know the electronic configuration of many electrons present in their atom. What information do we get by understanding this electronic configuration? The distribution of electrons in various orbitals provides understanding of electronic behavior of an atom. That means how the electrons behave in their atoms we can understand by observing this electronic configuration, and as a result we can guess the reactivity of the atoms. So by observing this electronic configuration, whether the atom is active, more reactive or less reactive, we can identify. Let us consider helium atom. So what is the atomic number of helium? Helium atomic number is 2 and number of electrons present in helium is 2. So how to distribute these electrons in helium atom, that means in the main shells, subshells and orbitals. So what is the criteria we have to follow? So to distribute these electrons in the main shell and subshells and orbitals, so three main principles are given. So we have to follow that three main principles, that is Pauli's exclusion principle and Above principle and Hund's rule. Pauli's exclusion principle, Above principle and Hund's rule. Let us discuss one by one. Then we can write the electronic configuration of helium. First one, Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle. So in a helium atom, what is the atomic number of helium? Helium atomic number, so helium, it is represented by He and its atomic number Z is equal to 2. That means how many electrons are there? There are 2 electrons. X is equal to 2 electrons. Now how to write electronic configuration? That means first of all in the main shell, first shell only electrons will occupy. So 1 s orbital, 1s. Here first electron will occupy in the first orbital. And what about second electron? It will pair. That means 1s2. So this is the electronic configuration of helium, 1s2. Okay. So now the question is, what about the spins of these two electrons? So there are two electrons in the s orbital. So what about their spins? How can we decide? Either the two electrons have the same spin or different spins. What is the definition of the Pauli's exclusion principle? According to Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons of the same atom can have all four quantum numbers the same. That means if the two electrons present in an atom, that two electrons should not have the four quantums same. That means at least one quantum number should be different. For example, what are the quantum numbers of this 1s2 n value? N is equal to 1 and L value, angular momentum quantum number, L is equal to S. S means 0 and ML value. What is the ML value? If L is equal to 0, ML value also 0. Then what about spin of the first electron? And what about spin of the second electron? So that should be different for the two electrons. So here n value is same for the first electron and second electron, and L value also same, and ML value also same, but spin should be different for two electrons. So ms is equal to, for the first electron, if it is plus 1 by 2, and for the second atom it should be minus 1 by 2. So for the first electron, four quantum numbers, n is equal to 1, L is equal to 0, ML is equal to 0, MS is equal to plus 1 by 2, and for the second electron, N is equal to 1, L is equal to 0, ML is equal to 0, MS is equal to minus 1 by 2. So like that, if two electrons present in an atom, the four quantum numbers should not be same. So at least one quantum number should be different. If the three quantum numbers like N, L, ML is same, then the fourth quantum number decides whether it is the first electron or second electron, like that. The electrons with paired spins can be written as like this. One is clockwise spin, upward arrow mark, and another one is downward arrow mark, that is anti-clockwise spin. Then we can write electronic configuration of helium by representing these spins, four quantum numbers. So this is the electronic configuration of the helium by representing all the quantum numbers. So 1s2. So here we can write all the four quantum numbers of the helium. So in the helium electronic configuration, the two electrons have anti-parallel spins. Anti-parallel, that means one is clockwise and another one is anti-clockwise. So that is why their spins are anti-parallel. Okay. So now next question is, how many electrons can occupy an orbital? That means how many electrons present in an orbital. For example, we have s orbital, p orbital, d orbital, like that. Different orbitals are there. So in that, suborbitals also is there. In each orbital, how many electrons can occupy? That means present. So how to decide? The major consequence of the Pauli's exclusion principle is orbital occupancy. That means the main result of the Pauli's exclusion principle is that how many electrons can present inside an orbital. So here if you observe ms, that means a spin quantum number, there are only two spins are possible for an electron. That means plus 1 by 2 or minus 1 by 2. So that means only two spins are there. It means we can understand that only two electrons can occupy an orbital. So in any orbital only 2 electrons will be present. So this is the significance of the Pauli's exclusion principle. The next principle is Above principle. Above principle. As we move from one element to another element in the higher energy, the atomic number also increases. Hydrogen has 1, helium has 2, and lithium has 3. So as we move like that, the atomic number also increases. As the atomic number increases, every time one electron is added to its atom. That means number of electrons also increases along with its atomic number. So how many electrons present in the main shell? How many electrons present in the subshells like orbitals s, p, d, f? What is the criteria to find out number of electrons present in the main shell and subshells? Let us see. So in the main shell, for example, n value we know that 1, 2, 3 and so on, like that is there. So in the first shell, first energy, how many electrons present? So we can find out by using this formula 2n square. 2n square. That means if n is equal to 1, that means main shell 1. First shell, how many electrons are there? So we can write 2 into 1 whole square is equal to how much? 1 square means 1 only. 2 into 1, 2. That means in the first shell there are only 2 electrons. And in the second shell, that means n is equal to 2. How many electrons present in the second main shell? We can substitute the n value here. 2 into 2 square is equal to 2 square means 2 into 2, 4. 2 4s are 8. 8 electrons present in the second main shell. So like that, in the third shell, third main shell, 2 into 3 square, that is equal to 2 into 9. 3 square means 9 is equal to 18 electrons. 2 into 9, 18 electrons present in the third main shell. So like that, we can calculate fourth shell also. So what about in the subshells? How many electrons present in the subshells like orbitals, s orbital, p orbital and d orbital, f orbital? Let us see that is also. So by using this formula, that means 2 into 2l plus 1. 2l plus 1. So by using this formula, we can find out the number of electrons present in the subshells like s orbital and p orbital, d orbital and f orbital. We know that s orbital means L value is equal to 0, p orbital L value 1 and d orbital L value 2 and f orbital L value 3. So by substituting L value here, we can find out how many electrons present in the s orbital and p orbital, d orbital, f orbital, like that. So let us see once. So if L is equal to 0, L is equal to 0, to substitute the L value here, 2 into L, that means 0 plus 1 is equal to how much? So I will write here 2 into 0, 0 plus 1, that is equal to 0 plus 1, 1 here. That means 2 into 1 is equal to 2. So that means 2 electrons only present in the s orbital. So in the s orbital, there are only 2 electrons. Next, if L is equal to 1, that means p orbital. How many electrons present in the p orbital? Let us substitute the 1 in place of L. 2 into 2L, that means 2 into 1. 2 into L plus 1, right here 1. So is equal to 2 into 1, 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 into 3 is equal to 6. That means 6 electrons present in the p orbital. How many electrons present in the d orbital? So let us write here. So d orbital means L value is equal to 2. So 2 into 2L plus 1, that is equal to 2 into L value 2. So 2 into 2 plus 1 is equal to 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. 2 into 5 is equal to 10. So there are 10 electrons present in the d orbital. So what about f orbital? So f orbital means L value is equal to 3. 2 into 2L plus 1, that is the formula. So you can write 2 into 2L. L value is equal to 3 plus 1. 2 into 3, 6 plus 1. That is equal to 2 into 6 plus 1, 7. That is equal to 2 into 7, 14. That means 14 electrons present in the f orbital. 10 electrons present in the d orbital. So like that we can find out number of electrons present in the s orbital, p orbital, d orbital and f orbital. Okay. Now we can understand about the above principle. So now already we know that in the first shell we can fill only 2 electrons. In the second shell we can fill 8 electrons, like that. In the third shell we can write 18 electrons. In the orbitals like s orbital 2 electrons, and p orbital 6 electrons, and d orbital 10 electrons, and f orbital 14 electrons. So now which criteria we have to follow? So according to above principle, so when the atom is in the ground state, the electrons first occupy the lowest energy level. So after completing the lowest energy level according to its atomic number, then it will go to the next energy level. So if only 2 electrons are there, so the 2 electrons should be fill the first main shell. That means first main shell. So 2 electrons should be present in the 1s orbital only. Then the third electron, if the third electron is present, it will goes to the second energy level. So in its ground state. So this is called above principle. So according to above principle, electrons can occupy by increasing order of their energy. So increasing order of energy. So which energy? Shells energy. Increasing order of energy of the shells. So this is above principle. So while filling the electrons in the orbitals, so we have to follow 2 rules. What is the 2 rules? Let us see. What is above? Above means what? Building up. Building up. So that is why building up the energy. That means level by level, level by level. By increasing order of the shells, the electrons will occupy the orbitals like shells also. So here 2 rules we have to understand to distribute the electrons. So that 2 general rules are: first one, electrons are assigned to orbitals in order of increasing value of n plus L. So electrons should follow the n plus L value to occupy the orbitals. What is n value? We know that principal quantum number, and L is angular momentum quantum number. So which one has lowest n plus value, the electrons will occupy the first. And the second rule is for subshells with the same value of n plus L. That means if the n plus value is same, then what happens? Electrons are assigned first to the subshell with lower n value. So for example, n plus value, n plus L value is same for 2 orbitals, suborbitals. For example, here 4s and 3p. 4s and 3p. What is the n plus l value of 4s? Here n value is 4 and l value is 0. That means n plus l value 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. And what is the n plus l value of 3p? Here n value is 3 and l value p means 1, that is equal to 3 plus 1 4. So here n plus value for 4s and 3p same 4 only. So now in which orbital electron can occupy first? So we can decide by observing the n value. So here n value is 4, here n value is 3. So this is the lowest n value, then the electrons will occupy 3p first before filling the 4s orbital. Do you understand? Okay, next. To understand the increasing order of orbitals, that means to know the n plus l value. So this diagram will help us which orbital has more n plus l value and which orbital has less n plus l value. So let us understand this diagram. What is this diagram? This diagram is about Euler chart. What is this? Euler chart. In this chart we have n values from top to bottom, it represents n values, and side it represents l value. So let us write the n values. For example, this is a first main shell, that means 1. So that value is 1. So like that, this is second main shell, n value is 2. And third main shell, n value is 3. And 4, 5, this is 6, 7, and this is 8. We have 8 main shells are there, and subshells. L is equal to s orbital. L is equal to s orbital means what is the value of L? 0. And p orbital. What is the L value for p orbital? L is equal to 1. What is the L value for d orbital? L is equal to 2. What is the L value for f orbital? L is equal to 3. So you have to remember s orbital 0, p orbital 1, d orbital 2, f orbital 3. So now while filling the orbitals, that means while electrons occupying the orbitals, they will follow above rule. According to above rule, the lowest n plus l value first electrons should occupy, then they will come to the next energy level. So here n plus l value 1 plus 0, that means 1. So here 2 plus 0, 2, like that. 3 plus 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that is. What is here n plus l value? 2, n value 2 and l value 1. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5, like that, and so on. So here n plus l value. N value is 3, l value is 2. That means 3D. 3 plus 2, 5. 4 plus 2, 6. 5 plus 2, 7. 6 plus 2. What is the n value? 4, and l value is 3. 4 plus 3, 7. So this is also 5 plus 3, 8. So now electrons will occupy first, will enter into the 1s orbital. Electrons will enter into the 1s orbital. After completing 1s orbital, so after filled, then the electrons will come again and enter into the 2s orbital. And after that, we can start from here onwards, 2p orbital. Okay, so order we have to follow. This is the order. Then after 2p, they will enter into the 3s. So like that we can write. So after completing this, again come back and enter into the 3p and 4s. Then afterwards come back, enter into the 3d, 4p, 5s. Then afterwards electrons will occupy 4d, 5p and 6x. again come back 4f, 5d, 6p and 7s. So like that, the last one 5f and 6d, 7p and finally 8s. So while drawing this diagram we have to keep arrow marks also. Okay, so you can observe the diagram in the textbook also, so clearly. So according to this order electrons will occupy. So why after 2p electrons going into 3s means the next level. So after completing this 3s, okay, so after completing 3s, whether the electrons entering into the 4s or 3p. So 4s and 3p. What is the n plus l value of 4s? 4 plus 0, that is 4. 3 plus 1, that is equal to 4. Both are having same energy. So already we have discussed two rules. In the second rule, if the n plus l value is same for the two subatomic orbitals, so we have to take lowest n value. That means electrons will go first into the 3p before filling the 4s orbital. Next, so here the electronic configuration of some elements is given, so observe carefully. First one, hydrogen atom. We know that electronic configuration of hydrogen atom is 1s1, so only one electron. So these are the orbitals, 1s, this is 2s and this is 2p. So in 2p there is 3 orbital, 2px, 2py and 2pz. So like that all are like that, and this is all 1s, these are all 2s and these are all 2p, 2px, 2py, 2pz, like that. So now observe the electronic configuration of helium, Z is equal to 2. So first electron in the first 1s orbital, and what about second electron? So it will pair the second electron like this. So that is the electronic configuration of helium. What about lithium electronic configuration? So one electron will occupy the first orbital, then the second electron will come and pair this. And what about third electron? Third electron will go to the next level. After completing 1s, electron should go to 2s. So the third electron will come into the 2s. So this is 1s2, 2s1. So this is only 1s2. What about beryllium? Be means beryllium, atomic number Z is equal to 4. That means 4 electrons are there. So first electron enter into the 1s orbital, and the second electron will pair the first electron, and the third electron will come into the 2s orbital. Then after completing this 2s orbital only, it will go to the 2p orbital according to above principle. So fourth electron will come into the 2s orbital. And if you observe the electronic configuration of boron, B means boron, atomic number Z is equal to 5. So here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons and here 1 electron, because 1s orbital filled, 1s2, this is 2s2, then the third orbital is 2p. So it will come into 2px, 2py and 2pz empty. So what about the next atom, carbon? What about carbon electronic configuration? Because carbon have 6 electrons. So let us write electronic configuration. 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, 1s, 2 and 2s, 2. And the next electron will come into the 2px. So what about the 6th electron? So whether the electron will pair the first electron or it will go to the next suborbital. So this is the question. To understand this, the another principle is given, that is Hund's rule. So let us discuss what is Hund's rule. Next one, Hund's rule. So what is the Hund's rule? Let us see the definition. Hund's rule. So So according to this Hund's rule, electron pairing in orbitals starts only when all available empty orbitals of the same energy are singly occupied. So according to this rule, first of all the available orbitals, first they should be singly occupied. Same energy orbitals means they are also called degenerate orbitals. For example, p orbital has 3 suborbital. The 3 p orbitals have the same energy. So that 3 p orbitals are called degenerate orbitals. In a d orbital also there are 5 suborbitals are there. So that is also degenerate orbitals. So according to Hund's rule, in 3 p orbitals, electron should singly occupy first 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1, like that first singly occupy, then only pairing starts. So now let us observe the electronic configuration of carbon. What is the atomic number of carbon? Carbon atomic number is 6. So here first shell is 1s. So 2 electrons will occupy the 1s orbital and another 2 electrons will occupy the 2s orbital, and again 2 more electrons are there. What about the 2 more electrons? The next level, they will enter into the next level. What is the next level? 2p. Here in this 2p orbital there are 3 degenerate orbitals are there, that is 2px and 2py, 2pz. The first electron, according to Hund's rule, the first electron first occupy 2px, singly occupied, and the next electron will go to the next p orbital, that is 2py, singly occupied. So here one thing you have to notice. So in this 2px and 2py, and electrons have parallel spins, both are having clockwise spin, upward arrow mark we kept, no? So these are all, these 2 electrons having the same spin, that is parallel spins. So my dear students, so far we have discussed about electronic configuration, the Pauli's exclusion principle, and the Above principle, and third one Hund's rule, and Moeller chart also, which helps to predict the n plus l value. So now we have one activity. So that one you have to fill yourself, so as a home task, and complete that activity and take a picture and send to me. So what is that activity? Here there are some atoms is given, elements is given, this atomic number. You have to write their atomic number and electronic configuration by using all these principles. What is the principles? 3 principles you have to use and write the electronic configuration. Use pencil and write all the electronic configuration of the atoms given in the table. If you have any questions, queries, so you can message me, then I will help you. So we will meet again in the next class. Thank you.